Hello, hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome, welcome to my first live chat on our Talk More Talk channel. How are you doing? Um, this is also my first time using StreamYard, so if things don't work perfectly, just have some patience with me, and it'll hopefully everything will work perfectly. I am, of course, Kiddo Tool from Talk More Talk, and welcome to my backyard. This is indeed my backyard. And I can prove it. You might hear the neighbor kids yelling in the background and some noises, but yeah, this is my backyard. I've been living here all week. We've had some gorgeous gorgeous weather, so I've been doing all my work and everything back here. So I'm thrilled to welcome you here. And hello, Oliver. Good to see you. And so I just thought it'd be fun to do this and just have a little chat. I used to do this on just my Facebook page, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do it here. And I call it Chaos and Creation in Kit's Backyard. And so I thought it'd be fun to come on here, chat, tell you what's coming up on Monday's show, and there may possibly be a surprise guest or two. Who knows? So and just have a little chat and see what's on your minds. So while waiting for people to come in, just say hello. Hi, Roger. So Beatles coming five one surround sound Blu-ray. Do you mean their uh, catalog, or do you mean Get Back? Or I'm not sure. I'm still waiting to hear about when Get Back is going to come out. There's been no word. Um, oh, thank you. Yes, yes, Dean. I've heard that people have compared it to Friar Park. Yeah, we love it out here. It's the owners of our house before us. They built this in the 30s. Were horticulturalists, so we're reaping the benefits, and we do actually have a gnome out here. But I swear to God, we do. Not a real one. A one that was here when we moved here. He's not in great shape. Because he's very old, but we do have one. Oh, the entire catalog, Roger. Okay. Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, that'd be great. Love to love definitely to hear that. Um, yeah, nice. Would be nice to have an upgrade. Um, yeah. Um, oh, Alan Parsons, Stephen Wilson talked about it. Nice. Oh, I would, talking about Alan Parsons, I was so bummed. I would love to see him on his current tour, and I just couldn't go. Uh, that's one that I would love to see. I never seen him live. Funny, Tom. I think I saw Bigfoot behind you. Ha ha. Yeah. Um, yeah, there've been some bunnies out here um earlier. It's where there we get some bunnies. We have some there've been plenty of birds and everything. Oh, you do, Roger. Ah, very jealous. I would love to see Alan Parsons. Uh, would love to interview him too, because yeah, I'd love to talk to him about iRobot. I love that album. Very creative, and of course his '70s work. But I particularly like iRobot. I just think that's a fascinating album. So, uh, who knows? Maybe I'll be able to see him. But that's I feel like I've learned since uh, you know, Prince passed and others, Tom Petty, that if you want to see somebody, you should go see them when you can, right? Because I mean, you just don't know. Oh wow, so you were 17 when iRobot came out. Wow, I was a bit younger. I was a bit younger, but as I said, I think that's a fascinating album. So, yeah, so it's really, who knows? I hope I'll be able to see him. Speaking of seeing people in concert, you may have heard, speaking of Tom, who checked in here, Tom is lucky enough to have gotten a ticket to see Paul McCartney tonight. He is in LA seeing Paul. And so Monday night on our show, he will give us a full report on his experience seeing Paul in concert. So really looking forward to that, and hear what his thoughts are on seeing him in concert. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's as I said, in the summer we just live out here. We love it here. It is a beautiful, been beautiful here all week. Um, what do I think of hi Dina? What do I Dino, excuse me. What do I think of George Harrison's last album? Brainwashed. You know, it took me a while to appreciate it because not because it was a bad album, but you know, it's just so it was so intertwined with his passing. I think we talked about this on a previous show that you know, it came out of course not long after he passed and you know it just had this cloud over it for me. You know, so many of the songs just had this, you know, you couldn't help but think about, you know, his passing. But as the years have gone on and it isn't so closely tied to his death, I now really appreciate it a lot more. And it probably should have been it should have sold more than it did. Um, and should have been. I mean, it has been appreciated, but I think it as the years have gone on, it has aged very very well, and I've grown to appreciate it a lot more. And it doesn't have as much of that sadness attached to it like it did. So so I do like it, and so those are my thoughts. We've talked about it on our show a bit. So speaking of the show, I should tell you, since there are more people on here, what our show is going to be. Monday night. We're really looking forward to it, and I'll, of course, post more about it after this. We are going to celebrate, get ready for this, folks, the 30th anniversary of Ringo Starr's Time Takes Time. That's right, folks, 30th anniversary. I'm 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 still trying to process this. Is it doesn't it seem like yesterday that no pun intended that that album came out? I just can't believe it. And so we are going to talk about the album, celebrate it. I know we've talked about the album many times. I mean, just in passing on the show, but it should have been a lot bigger than it was. I mean, not a top 10 album. I mean, I think by that time, you know, Ringo was past that. But I mean, it was such a good album, such a solid album. It had so many, you know, just great producers and writers involved in that album. You know, it should have gotten a lot more attention than it did. Um, and oh, thank you, Penny. Um, and yeah, absolutely. Very good point, Tim, about jellyfish. Yeah, that they helped in Ringo's comeback. Absolutely. Um, let's see. Sorry, it's getting a little sunny here. Where were you when George Harrison passed away? You know what? I remember very well. I was driving. I was working on my doctorate at the time, and I was driving to class, and I heard it on the radio that he died. And you know, it was one of those things. It wasn't like when John Lennon died, of course, and I was only 8 when he died, so I don't really remember it vividly. But this was a case where we all kind of knew this was coming. But you know, so I wasn't a wreck or anything. but it was incredibly sad. But we all kind of knew this was coming, and so I was really, uh, but I was very sad. And by the time I got to class, my fellow students who, all knew about my fandom all were all saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." So that's where I was. Yeah, I remember it vividly. Um, yeah, I agree, Susan. Absolutely. Time Takes Time yeah, I still think of it too as one of his newer albums, but can you believe it? 30 years? It's just insane. Hello, Robert S. Yes, it is. It's a great day to sit in the yard, so yeah, just a perfect day to be doing this. So yeah, we are going to be talking about the album and celebrating it. So if you haven't listened to it in a while, get out your copy, listen to it over the weekend to get ready for Monday's show. If you haven't listened to it at all, get out Spotify or whatever your preferred listening method is, and refresh your memory, or listen to it for the first time. You will not be disappointed. It's actually one of my favorite albums of his. I think it was the strongest since Ringo. It was a great album. Yeah, I agree, Susan. I mean, yeah, we all knew it was coming. We had heard the news that he was very sick, but but yeah, it was sobering. It really was. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't, as I said, I wasn't a wreck when I heard about it because you knew it was coming, but it was, incredibly sad. And I don't think I fully processed it until the concert for George a year later. And oh, I mean, what a beautiful tribute that was. And when Joe Brown sang "I'll See You in My Dreams" at the end, that was it. I mean, that was it. Um, what do you think about um, George Harrison's last recording, sorry, of "My Sweet Lord"? I wasn't that crazy about it. Um, I, I mean, it was fine that he did it, but I was not insane about it. I love the original so much. Hard to top that. It was his song. It was fine that he did it, but I so hard to top that. Um, yeah, Jack, I agree. Oh, I would love to hear some songs from Time Takes Time on his tour. Wouldn't that have been great? I remember seeing on his, I think it was, trying to well, it must have been 93 or 94 or so on All-Star tour. He did Don't Go Where the Road Don't Go. I remember that clearly, and that sounded awesome live. So I'd love him to bring some of those songs back. Just fantastic. Um, no, Westfield 90 have not heard any solid news on Rubber Solar Revolver yet. There have been rumors that Giles Martin may be working on them, but it's all been rumor. But fingers crossed, right? I hope so, because it is high time for box sets for both of those albums. I mean, I am just dying for them. We all are. So haven't heard anything concrete yet, but let's hope so. Um, yeah, Susan, it was. I mean, that concert, that was the perfect tribute. I don't see how they could have done it better. It captured every element of George's personality, his sense of humor, his spirituality, obviously his years with the Beatles, his solo career. I mean, it couldn't have been better. It just was perfect. Um, what do I think about George Martin? In what sense? I would say fifth Beatle. I feel, I think Joe has talked about this too. We've all talked about it on our show. Definitely feel he was the fifth Beatle. Um, and you know, absolute essential ingredient of the Beatles. Hello, Graham. Oh, thank you for tuning in from the UK. I hope to make it there in the future. I have not been there since 2000. It's been way too long since I've been there. I would love to go back. I absolutely uh, loved it. Went to London and Liverpool. Only got to spend a day in Liverpool. I'd love to go back and spend more time there. Let's see. Do you think it's time Apple release all the tapes to the public, or a public foundation to preserve the? You know what? I should put this here. Do you think it's time Apple release all the tapes to the public, or a public foundation to preserve them for future generations? Aren't they a part of history now? Tired of the drip by drip releases? Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind them. I think that'd be great. Um, but Apple is so proprietary, and I mean, and I get it to a point. Um, but I don't think if that ever happens, it's not going to be for a very long time. I think I can't help but think back to when Anthology came out, and George Martin. I don't know if you guys remember this, when he seemed clearly baffled that people wanted to hear the outtakes. They really, remember that? I mean, he actually said that he honestly did not understand why we wanted to hear outtakes and alternate takes, and it just, that was just astounding. And I don't know if other folks at Apple felt that way. And I think the Beatles themselves felt, had mixed feelings about it, because, and I get it. I guess that they weren't at their absolute, you know, they weren't perfect, but that's history, right? I mean, we want to know how they sounded. How I love hearing how a song comes together. I think we all do. No pun intended. Come together. But I think we all do. I love hearing a song in process. Joe, hello, Joe. My other compadre. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that we love hearing how a song comes together, and so we want that. Let's see. Hello, Tony. Let's see. Okay, let me catch up on some comments here. So Ouija, yeah, I think. Let's see. Yes, I think Brainwashed is overlooked as it was released after his passing. It had some real gems. Yes, Looking for My Life, Stuck Inside a Cloud. Yeah, heartfelt lyrics, knowing he was ill. Absolutely. And as I said, it was kind of hard to listen to at first because of that. But now that enough time has passed, I think now I fully appreciate it more. Um, Interesting, yeah. I'm very annoyed the way they put the anthology outtake, three outtake of Our Darling on the Let It Be box set instead of anything new. Just us hardcore fans. Yeah, the Let It Be box set wasn't perfect. you know, it wasn't, to say the least. Absolutely. Tim Allen, hello, Tim. Yeah, remix box set of Magical Mystery Tour, 3 discs, a stereo remix, mono mix, an alternate version of outtakes, etc. That would be very interesting because, yeah, Magical Mystery Tour, tends to get overlooked, because, it's kind of seen in some ways. I think, I don't know. It's seen as kind of a lesser album in some ways. So I think that's a really interesting idea, because I think it does deserve some more attention because it's such an experimental kind of album. So I like that idea. I like that a lot. Let's see. Um, Susan. Yeah, I remember hearing about John's death. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't imagine. As I said, I was 8, and, so, I mean, I remember it kind of, but I wasn't, a big fan by that time, so, I mean, I was aware of it, but it really, it didn't, affect me as much, but I can imagine if I was of age that time, I would have been devastated. I mean, just such a senseless death. Um, okay, so if Apple still wants money, how about an iTunes model or subscription model? Release all online and people can buy any take of any song. I'd purchase take one of In My Life and many others. Sure. I mean, that'd be great because yes, Apple would want their money. No question about it. Absolutely. Um, yeah, so I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Joe's next comment here, which I'll show in a second. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to have to be if they ever release everything, it's going to have to be something along those lines. Um, I just don't know. Yeah, uh-huh. How'd you get into Friar Park? No, no, Robert, I do not live on an estate, I swear to God, I do not. Yes, Tony. Back to the Egg is one of my top 5 Wings albums, and I want a deluxe set with demos. You bet. Don't we? If we all do, I would love that. I hope. Um, that's our hope for the next archive set. Um, and I'm praying that that'll be our next one, but we'll see. We haven't heard anything yet. The only thing we've seen, and hopefully Tom, hopefully I'm sure Tom will get a program from the concert, so maybe he'll show us Monday night. There's that tantalizing sentence that we've seen. I'm sure you've all seen online. People have taken pictures um, that have said that it says something like "Stay tuned for more Paul McCartney archives releases" or something like that. So hopefully we're going to see something in the near future. So obviously we're going to. There are going to be some more in the future. So hopefully it's going to be Back to the Egg next. Could be London Town. Could be both. We just don't know. That's right. Yeah, I think Hunyadi, yeah, Tom's gonna hijack our show with his Paul experience. Yeah, we'll keep him in line. We'll keep him in line. Tony, our show is going to be about celebrating the 30th anniversary, believe it or not, of Ringo's "Time Takes Time." I just still can't believe it, but that's what it's going to be. Absolutely. Um, yeah, John definitely was a bootleg collector. Um, yeah, he left instructions with Yoko. Don't think she's been against any of the 50th releases, unlike Macca and Georgia State. Um, well, certainly, I mean, it's possible. I'm not, of course, I'm not um, in the inner circle. So it's interesting to think about that, but it's possible. Thank you, Tim. Yep, hit that, smash that like button, as the kids say. Yes, please do that. I appreciate that. Um, yeah. Oh, yes. As a fan of British folk, London Town is my favorite Wings album. Hope to get an archive release. I bet we will in the future. If it isn't this one, it'll be the next one. Absolutely. So let's hope so. Um, we'll find out. Um, yes, indeed, Tony. "Weight of the World" is one of my top 5 Ringo songs. Me too. I agree. That was a great one of Ringo's best singles. It should have been a bit. Again, I'm not saying it should have been number one, but a should have gotten more attention than it did. Oh, I can imagine, Susan. Yeah. Um, I've heard that. My babysitter at the time, as I was 8 years old, my babysitter was a huge, huge Beatle fan, and I remember her, she was just devastated when John died, and of course, being 8 years old, I was just like, "Why are you so upset?" And I mean, obviously, I understand now, but yeah, I remember that. She was just devastated. Um, yep, Susan, absolutely. Whatever the archive release is, next, I'm ready for it. Absolutely ready for it. Um, so we'll hopefully, get something very soon. Because I think, yeah, the last one was 2020, right? The Flaming Pie. So, we're due for one. It's been a couple of years. One other thing I wanna mention, because it's, have to do it, is, today is Stevie Wonder's birthday. He is 72 today, and I just definitely want to mark the occasion. As many of you know from watching our show and from hearing other things, Stevie Wonder is my musical hero. I actually uh, he was really the one who first got me into music even before the Beatles, and I just want to say happy birthday to Stevie, and he is just, as I said, my musical hero, my personal hero. Um, Gosh, it's just impossible to say. I can't even pick a favorite song. There are just too many. I taught a class on him last February, which was just an honor to do. I taught about, from his Motown days to the current day. And Stevie, if you're watching, come out with a new album. We're waiting. We want a new album. So I just want to say, just wish him a happy, happy birthday, and keep on with the music. We need you. So just wanted to say that before we go on. Let's see. What's the deal with George Harrison's estate not releasing takes of tracks that have been bootlegged? Seems to be a recurring pattern with songs like "I Live for You," "Sour Milk Sea," "Maxine." Um, yeah, I mean, well, we're still waiting for Early Takes Volume 2, right? What happened to that? Um, I don't know why the estate has been, so slow with these releases. I just can't understand it. But the dad grass, I just don't get it. Um, I just don't get it. Um, yeah, Tony, Stevie Wonder is, yeah, and remember, of course, because Stevie started when, his first hit was when he was 11. I mean, just amazing. Um, let's see. Yes. Hello, Beatley Tones Beatle Channel. Yes, does seem to have. It's going quiet on the Sometime in New York City mixes. Um, there have been there's been a lot of rumors as to why there's the holdup, and we just don't know what's happening, and there's been no word on when it's coming out. Let's hope it's soon. We had this on our talk calendar as when we were planning to all the new releases that were coming out. So shame on them for messing with our, our program calendar. No, we'll see. Um, yes, indeed, Susan. Yeah, absolutely. Stevie is just a national treasure. Let's see. Mhm. Absolutely, I live for you. Wish that was on All Things Must Pass rather than Isn't It a Pity. Speaking of that, we're going to have Owen Lang on our show soon. You may, of course, I'm sure you you've all know of his work. He's written a new book called George Harrison in the '70s, and we will have him on in the near future on our show to talk about that book. Um, wow, so Joe Early Takes was 10 years ago. Dang, wow, I knew that was a while ago, but my goodness, wow. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, and I agree, the 2 songs from Best of Dark Horse aren't available. Yeah, Sat Singing and Lay His Head, great songs, B-sides. Um, absolutely. So yeah, so when we'll be, absolutely, Tony, great guy. Yeah, he'll be on in the future, um, and, oops. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's not a fan of 33 and a third. Oh, yeah. We'll take it outside, it'll be fine. You're forgiven, Robert S. That's fine. I gotcha. Oh, man. But, anyway, yeah, yeah, there are a lot of, good things coming out this year, but yeah, we're still waiting on some stuff. Day Tripper, hello, how are you? Um, yeah, let me see. Whoops. There we go. This is the comment. Um, Mark Lewison, he is working hard. I talked to him a little bit at the fest, and he said he is really deep in work, and I can sympathize with this because when I was working, I mean, I'm not on the level of Mark Lewison, but when I was working on the Michael Jackson book, you go down a lot of rabbit holes, when you're doing research. And that's what he was saying, that, he keeps going in all these different directions. And I finally, when I was working on that Michael Jackson book, had to force myself to stop because you get to that point. And I have a feeling that and I mean, it'd be even worse with the Beatles, obviously, with their material. I mean, there's just so much to research, and I think that's probably what he's running into. So I didn't get to talk to him at length, but that's what he's running into. Um, okay, let's see. Let me catch up on some stuff here. I didn't, Roger used to love Rush, but I've gotta say, Geddy Lee, wow, what a hell of a bassist he is. I mean, when I saw, um, him at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, some years ago play with Yes when they were inducted and play the bass on Roundabout, holy cow. I mean, that's a bass part that, you've gotta be really, really good to play that, and boy, he had no problem with it. Just amazing. Um, really? Owen likes extra texture, I didn't know that. Oh my goodness. Okay, this'll be interesting. Owen's a great guy. I haven't heard, the One Sweet Dream podcast yet, Tony. I've gotta do that. I've heard things about it, but have not heard it yet. Gotta do that. Yeah, me too, Susan. I hope it will, be out this year. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping the delay is because of, maybe they're adding extra material. Sorry, the sun's in my eyes. Um, I'm hoping they're adding extra material, but you never know. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Lone Pilgrim 83, yes, 33 and a third and George Harrison are wonderful. Um, yeah, Extra Texture has that's just one album that hasn't grown on me that much. But, you know, but who knows? That, maybe it'll grow on me too eventually. Um, yes. Yeah. I mean, I've heard something along those lines. Yeah, that Maharishi, the rumor was started by Magic Alex. That darn Magic Alex. He was a he was a troublemaker. Um, I mean, basically, I think that I think he was just, jealous of the growing influence, that the Maharishi had over John, and Magic Alex didn't like it that John had previously been, infatuated, if you want to call it that, with him, and so he started, excuse me, that rumor about the Maharishi, and just started that. I mean, I don't know. All I know is, yeah, Magic Alex was a piece of work, wasn't he? Really, really was. Let's see. Do I think Ringo will release a complete albums box set? Just gonna turn away from here, on vinyl. Um, I don't know. I hope so. That'd be a nice collector's set to have, wouldn't it? Haven't heard anything about it, but could happen. That'd be nice. Yeah, I agree. We all got to have a good laugh at Magic Alex and get back. And I just love that Magic Alex has just in general become a punchline in among us Beatles fans. That anytime anything doesn't work, we're just always like, "Oh, Magic Alex had something to do with it," or Magic Alex must have built this. So, he's just become a punchline now. Okay. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, the songs just don't grab me. But as you said, yeah, the musicianship is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Okay. There you go. That might be the answer. Yeah, I kind of agree, uh, Rhea, that John did tend to you know fall for he would become enraptured by people who were kind of charismatic and all, and didn't exactly. And I hate to say it because John was great and everything, but he would fall in with these sort of charismatic people who seemed to have the answers, and they didn't. Let's put it that way. Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if it'll be before September or not. Um, because of course he's so busy on the road right now. Although I'm trying to think if when that tour is supposed to end. Is it because it's a shorter tour. Although then he's playing, when is Glastonbury? I forget if anybody's does anybody know? I forget when Glastonbury is because he still has to do that. I don't know if he has any other dates. So it kind of depends on how busy he is. And then, of course, and somebody brought this up recently. Whatever happened to that "It's a Wonderful Life" thing? Oh, June 18th. Thank you, Susan. Okay, so all right, so then maybe he would still have time. Okay, so the tour ends June 16th. So then, and then he's playing Glastonbury on June 18th. Um, so maybe then he would still have time to work on an archive release. Um, okay. No, I didn't get a flaming pie oven mitt, Tony. That I sort of remember when those came out. Okay, this sounds interesting. I think if you put the verses from "So Sad" with the chorus from "Can't Stop Thinking About You," you'd have a great George Harrison song, but the other parts are Those are letdowns for me. Yeah, yeah. I just, as I said, I just could not get next to that album. Just could not. Yeah. Uh, yep. Robert S. I agree. And you know, and I agree, and you can send those gnomes to this address. Let's get, yeah, I was so tempted to get those gnomes. Although I don't know if I would put them outside. I mean, they're so, I don't know. I probably wouldn't, but all those gnomes were cute. Tom loves to taunt me with those gnomes, as you guys know. You all know he loves to do it. Oh man, but 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Oh, okay, it's later in June. Yes, the 18th is his 80th birthday. Yeah, and Joe is actually going to see Paul on the 16th, right, Joe? I think that's it. And so, yeah, he'll report for us on after he sees him there, and hopefully he'll do something special on that date because A, it's the last night of the tour, and B, it's just a couple of days before his birthday, so hopefully he'll. Yeah, yes, right, Joe. So hopefully he'll do something special that night. So he'll report for us, and hopefully Paul will do something cool. Yeah, yeah. I wish I only went to one Beetle Fest in LA. I went, I think it was 2014. I think that was the last fest they had there. That's the only one I got to go to. It was fun. I enjoyed that. The hotel was great too. Like every room overlooked the pool and it had balconies. It was fabulous. I loved it. But and it was a fun fest. But unfortunately, that at least that fest was not well attended. I don't know why, and so I think Mark decided not to continue it there. It's really sad. Oh, great, Susan. You'll see him June 7th. He's not coming anywhere near Chicago. I can't believe it. Not even like Wisconsin or anywhere. I mean, I'm ready to go, so and I have a couple of friends like the last time we saw him we had to see him in Madison, Wisconsin because he didn't come to Chicago. I don't know what he has against us. You're only allowed one box set this year, Beatles or solo. Which one are you going for? Oh my gosh. If a Revolver box set came out, I'm there. Absolutely. I would just freak out if a Revolver box set came out. I think that would probably be my choice. All right. Hello, just a young Beatles fan. I bet my mom $5 Ringo shows up for June 16th date. All right. Don't know for a fact, but I have enough faith in it to do it anyway. Hey, let's hope so. Joe, let's hope. Hoping to see Paul in the Hamptons this summer, if only. Well, you never know, Robert. Wow. Tony, it's been 11 years since he's been here. Holy cow, I can't believe that. Jeez. Okay, so you would go for well, Rubber Soul is great too. I mean, absolutely. If Rubber Soul came out, I'd be there. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Revolver. I mean, I would love to see a full box set of Revolver. No, no way. Okay, so you've been to two Beetle Fests. Oh, so there was one. Oh, yeah, there was one in Boston, or a couple in Boston. Okay, I do kind of remember that. I never got to one of those. There is, of course, one coming up in August in Chicago. I will be there, and hopefully all will go smoothly, and there will be fest with no problems with COVID and all that. Really looking forward to it. Jack Paul has played Wrigley Field. He played there in, I think it was 2010. I saw him there. It was fabulous, although it was hotter than hell. He played there 2 nights, and I was there the first night, and it was great. I mean, seeing a concert at Wrigley Field is fantastic, but it was so hot that day. Twice when I saw him once there, and then oh, I know a few years later he played Milwaukee. That was another year that he skipped Chicago. Both times hotter than hell. I mean, like the time in Milwaukee, it was so hot that when we left the stadium, there were ambulances parked outside. I'll never forget it. And I never drank so much water, Coke, everything in my life as I did at that show because I knew if I didn't, I'd be on the ground. And I mean, Paul was drenched by the end of that show. I mean, it was a great show, but it was crazy. Let's see. Okay, so yes, it's North. Yep. Also, it was 2011. Okay. Yep. Great show, Tony. Yeah, I absolutely. Well, actually, I don't know if you saw the online version of Beetle Fest where Peter Jackson talked about being interested in using his technology to, uh, you know, really revise the Star Club tapes, and which would be fascinating, to really clean them up. And, because of course, as we all know, they were recorded pretty crudely. And with his technology for, as you said, separating parts and all that, he said he could do a lot. And he even said during his interview, if any of you have ideas as to which tracks you'd like me to try out to submit to Apple, let me know. And we're all, I think I heard a collective gasp in the room when he said that. So love that. Hello, Ollie. Good to see you. Yeah, it was so hot. I'm serious. It was incredible. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid of that. That he may be too busy for the archive set because he has so much going on. But who knows? Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, it's interesting. You're right that some people put together their own great separations. It's amazing what people can do with software, these days. It really is. Yeah, I mean, when he said that, everybody, as I said, there was like a collective gasp in the room. I mean, I would love it. He said he's thinking of, trying this on a few tracks, submitting it to Apple and see what they think. I mean, that would be incredible. Yeah, Joe, I saw her standing there. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, when he said that, like, "Hey, if you guys have any suggestions for tracks," I just thought, "You gotta be kidding me." I mean, would we have suggestions? Oh my gosh. I think we would. Yeah, I would love to hear in clear detail what I call the Peter Gunn guitar, on that. I love that. I just love that part. Yeah, I mean, that was an amazing moment, during that interview. Um, but, yeah, I haven't heard much, people have been asking this week about whether about the guests or anything for the Chicago Fest yet. I have not heard anything. Of course, as soon as we do, we will let you know on our Talk More Talk page and everything. Hello, Only Sleeping. Good to see you. Yeah, I agree, Tony. I wish they release an early live cut of some other guy. Absolutely. That would be fabulous. Love him to do fixing a hole. Don't know if that's been suggested. Yeah, that would be great to hear. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at some other comments here. Thank you for all your great questions and comments. This is great. Think I'll be doing more of these on our channel. Yeah, I know that Giles is controversial with some. I mean, fact of the matter is he's got the inside track for obvious reasons. Um, and what are you gonna do? He and George did a great job on the Love soundtrack for sure. I mean, I like what they did there. Um, let's see. Sorry, sun's in my eyes again. Let's see. Right, yeah, some other guy from the Cavern TV performance. Oh, oh yeah, that'd be interesting, Kyle. Episode suggestion: Best of Ringo playing on other Beatles solo tracks. Interesting. Hey Joe, let's take a note of that. Good talk about that. Absolutely. Oh, okay. All right, Joe. I think you've cracked the mystery of why. Yeah, he's got the GM initials. There you go. Yeah, I like that idea, Kyle. All right, Joe. I think we need to put that in our list of future topics. I like that. Yeah, yeah, Love. I did like those of you. I don't know how many of you have seen Love in person, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's just amazing to see, particularly even just for the sound. I mean, when you hear that soundtrack played in the theater, I mean, that has I forget how many different, like 5,000 speakers or something like that. I mean, to hear it like that, and there's speakers in each of the seats, are just incredible. I will never get that. I saw it in 2006. I'd love to go back and see it again. Oh yeah, the song track of Yellow Submarine. Yeah, that was very well done. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so you saw it in 2015. Yeah, I would love to see it. I saw it when they had a bit in it that was removed fairly soon after I saw it. It was a segment with Blackbird, and they were right to remove it because it was weird. It was, it was to Blackbird, but it was like a a comedic segment to Blackbird. So I thought, "What?" I mean, it was really it was as I recall, it was, one of the performers sort of dressed as a blackbird with, one of the characters standing over him, like, saying, "Blackbird fly," and he would try to fly and would fall. Very strange. I That was, like, the only part of the show I remember thinking, "Yeah, that doesn't work," and they removed it not long after. So, which was a good thing. Okay, Kenny. All right. Sounds good. I will call you Kenny. Sorry about that. Hi, Ann. Yes, this is my backyard. Yep, it is. Absolutely. Yep. This is something that I used to do on my own Facebook page, and I would do these once a month. And the weather has just been gorgeous this week, and I decided, hey, maybe I'm going to try this on. Thank you, Anne. Decided I try it on our Talk More Talk channel. And thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. Yeah, we just love this yard. Um, yes, I do remember when Paul was promoting Flaming Pie. He was all over the place. I certainly do remember. I remember he was on Oprah when I think he premiered the album Beautiful, or the single Beautiful Night on there, the video. And I think it was that, or was it The World Tonight? But he was all over the place promoting that album. Good times. So, oh, thank you. Well, I may just do that. Absolutely. I'm glad you're liking it. Well, this is kind of an experiment to see if I should do this. So great. Which solo Beatles moment would I want to be a fly on the wall for? Oh my goodness. Whoo, that is a big question. Um, Trying to think. Gosh, there's so many. Um, Solo Beatles moment that I'd want to be a fly on the wall for. Um, Trying to think. Gosh, I'm like trying to narrow it down. Um, so I'm trying to think. What I want to be a fly on the wall for? Maybe during the recording of Band on the Run. I would have loved to have been there to see some of those sessions because that was such an incredible album, a historic album of Paul's. I would have loved to have been there. Um, yeah, Kenny, maybe Double Fantasy. That'd be another one. Um, or during the sessions for All Things Must Pass. I mean, so many incredible musicians were part of that, that were in and out, and and George would be like, "Hey, you want to play on this?" And that was such a if you read the book, that terrific book that Ken Womack um, and Jason wrote, we had them on talking about that book, and it was such a crucial album for, of course, for George. Um, that would have been incredible too. Okay, I know you asked for just one, but all right, I gave you three. But boy, that makes you think. Man, that could be a future topic for the show. Wow, thank you, Beatley Tone. I appreciate that. Oh, Portugal. I'd love to go to Portugal someday. Interesting. Wiki Monster. Yeah, he may have flown Oprah. It's not impossible. Absolutely. Thank you, Ollie. Ah, thank you, Robert S. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's true, Marcus. Yeah, we kind of were a fly on the wall anyway for the Imagine sessions. That's true. I agree. Yeah, just hard to pick one, right? Absolutely. Oh boy. Well, I would say this experiment was a success. I'm really glad you enjoyed this. Um, Yeah, some video footage exists of the double fantasy sessions. You're right. Well, there's that footage that surfaced some years ago, of was it of I'm trying to remember if it was I'm Losing You, and John wanted the footage destroyed because let's just say he was in an altered state when he was when it was recorded, and he didn't really want it seen. I think he wanted the footage burned or something, and I think, and of course it wasn't burned because some of the footage has surfaced. Yeah, right, Ollie said he looked like a effing bird. Yeah. Um, yeah. So some of it's out there. Oh, thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, yeah. Glenn Johns had so much patience for the Beatles, but not so much for Wings. Oh, Robert, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, right. If I want to go to Portugal, I'll need to sell more books. That's very true. I would love to go someday. I've heard it's absolutely beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, they are all available on Amazon, and hopefully I will be writing more in the near future. We shall see. It's just been a busy, busy couple of years, so hopefully, I will be getting out a sequel to songs we were singing uh, in the near future. Um, oh, you're very sweet, Your Majesty. And by the way, just to clear it up, the whole thing about Queen of Beatles Media. That was Ed Chen from when we they was Fab who crowned me that. That was Ed Chen. A lot of people think it's Ken Womack who made it up, and also I try to clarify that that was Ed Chen. So anyway, but well, this was really fun. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I have a feeling I may do these more in the future. No, Westfield. I'm Midwest. This is the time of year when it's doesn't get dark till like 8 o'clock Central. So that's why I can do this outside. So this is the time of year when I can do these. So I think I will be doing more of these on this channel in the future. So once a month or so. So I think this is great. This is a good, and maybe have some guests on. Maybe have have some of you guys come on and chat. This was, as I said, this was a kind of an experiment for my first one. I've also never used StreamYard, so this is good too. So oh, good. I'm glad you guys all enjoyed this. So remember, Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right on this channel. We will be back. Talk More Talk. We're going to be talking about the 30th anniversary of Time Takes Time, Ringo Starr. And yeah, it's a blackbird or bluebird. Good one, Robert. And Tom Hunyadi will be here to give us the scoop on Paul McCartney's Los Angeles gig. So he's gonna have some great stuff for us, and of course. Ken Michaels will have all the news for us, so we are going to have a packed show. So join us here live 9 p.m. Share your thoughts, and single pitch. I can count on you guys for the good puns. Oh, Jenny Wren. Oh man, keep them coming. So anyway, yep, it'll be a fun show for a great album. So see you guys Monday night. Have a great weekend. Take care and peace and love. See you soon. Bye bye.